Roll Tide, everyone, and welcome to Tide TV This Week, brought to you by Thompson Tractor. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by Kennedy Chase. And Kennedy, what a great time of the year here in Tuscaloosa.
Yes, what a wonderful time of year with A-Day weekend that just happened. It was beautiful weather, great time for some football.
Certainly was.
And so Saturday was A-Day here on the campus of the University of Alabama. What a great day it was to have fans back in Bryant-Denny at 50% capacity. We had all of the normal A-Day festivities with the Walk of Fame, Walk of Champions, and even celebrated the Tide's most recent national championship win.
As you mentioned, Kennedy, the day kicked off with the captain's ceremony, also known as the Walk of Fame at Denny Chimes. Coach Saban and the 2019 captains, Tua Tagovailoa, Devontae Smith, Anthony Jennings, and Xavier McKinney, along with the 2020 captains, Mac Jones, Alex Leatherwood, and Landon Dickerson, were honored with their hand and footprints forever cemented in Crimson Tide history at the base of Denny Chimes. Let's take an all-access look at the Walk of Fame ceremony.
Today we'll be honoring the permanent team captains from both the 2019 and the 2020 teams.
I think this is one of the greatest traditions that we have at the University of Alabama because when you are a captain, that means you are somebody that took responsibility to be a leader. You cared enough about other people to help them for their benefit. And all these young men did a fantastic job on both of our teams the last 2 years of doing just that.
Starting with the 2019 team.
Man, what an honor it is for me, to be here today and be able to do this. I love you guys forever and Roll Tide.
It's an honor to just have this here for life, just to know that I can come back here and always get to see this. This spot in Tuscaloosa right here is forever in my heart, and I appreciate you guys. Roll Tide.
Next is a rare two-time captain here at the capstone. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the all-time greats from Amite, Louisiana, Devontae Smith.
These past 4 years has been amazing just to come to the University of Alabama and have the opportunity to play for a wonderful university. Without the fans, we wouldn't be able to do this without y'all. And I'm just thankful to have the opportunity. Roll Tide.
I can't think of a greater honor that I've earned in my life than being voted a team captain. So, hopefully I can give back to you guys too. Roll Tide.
It's an honor to be up here right now. I've been a part of 4 great teams here. It's been a dream of mine to be a captain, and just really an honor, and it's something I'll never forget.
So I just want to thank Coach Saban for giving me the opportunity to go here and come to this school. So this will forever be my home and my heart, and I appreciate all y'all. Roll Tide.
Each one of these guys are special to me for the role that they played in the success. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you so much, and Roll Tide. Thank you.
So after the Walk of Fame ceremony, it was the Walk of Champions. Fans gathered on both sides of the Walk of Champions as the 2021 edition of the Crimson Tide football team entered Bryant-Denny Stadium for this year's A-Day game. 47,218 were in attendance to watch the Crimson Tide scrimmage for the final time this spring. It was the Crimson versus the White team, with the winner getting steak and the loser having to settle for a meal of just beans and bread. It was the White team that got on the board first on the opening drive of the game. Will Reichert's 22-yard field goal put the White up 3-0 for the only points on the first quarter.
It would be the Whites scoring again in the second quarter. Bryce Young hit a streaking Cameron Latu just outside the left hash mark of the field, and Latu did the rest, outracing everyone to the end zone for the touchdown. 59 yards for the score, and the White is in control 10-0. Crimson finally got on the scoreboard with less than a minute remaining in the half, but it would be the defense erasing the 0 from their point column. Chris Braswell hit Bryce Young as he was beginning to pass, knocking the ball out of his hands. Jalen Moody was the lucky recipient as Moody scooped up the ball at the 1, walked it into the end zone for the touchdown. That made it a 10-7 game at halftime.
During the game, both the Heisman Trophy and Maxwell Award recognized their 2020 winner, Devontae Smith. Smith was Alabama's 4th Maxwell Award winner that goes to the nation's most outstanding player. And at halftime, the Heisman Trophy Trust recognized their 2020 winner. Smith became the first wide receiver to win the award since 1991 and just the 3rd player in Crimson Tide history to win the Heisman Trophy.
Second half would only produce a couple of field goals. Chase Allen's 48-yard kick snuck just inside the right goalpost. That 48-yarder tied the game at 10 apiece. With the game winding down in the 4th, kicking from the left hash mark, Will Reichert nailed the 19-yard game winner as the White team prevailed 13-10 over the Crimson on A-Day.
So immediately after the game, the 2020 college football playoff and SEC champion Crimson Tide were honored at midfield. Head coach Nick Saban and quarterback Mac Jones addressed the crowd, and the 2020 national championship flag was raised in the stadium.
After the championship celebration, the spring football award winners were announced. 14 awards were handed out by Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide staff, while the media gave honors to 2 players for their performance in the A-Day game. The Dwight Stevenson Award for the most valuable lineman went to Jamarian Latham, while Bryce Young was selected the Dixie Howell Memorial Award winner, given to the most valuable player of the A-Day game.
So now, as you may know, the winner of the A-Day contest gets steak, while the loser has to settle for beans and bread.
Yeah, while it's not steak, I'm sure there were some of the best beans you'll ever have, though.
So with winning the A-Day contest 13-10 over the Crimson, the white team got to enjoy steak, baked potatoes, asparagus, salad, and a little cheesecake for dessert. Now the Crimson team, well, they got their beans and bread and water with no cheesecake for them.
And do you know what Coach Saban ate, Kennedy?
What?
Whatever he wanted to, obviously. He's the commissioner.
That's right. He could have had steak and beans if he wanted. After the steak and beans dinner, the team received their 2020 national championship and SEC championship rings.
Let's go all access with the Tide as they receive their much-deserved hardware.
I don't know what to do with myself right now. Man, it's crazy, bro. That is crazy.
And I got that pinky ring size on it.
What I said.
I got that pinky size on it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Expeditiously. Champions, baby. History made. That's what you call the Bama for right here. Right here. Yeah, right there.
Oh my gosh, bruh.
Yeah. Good rewards like this just come from hard work, that's it.
Hey, look, real spill. Y'all can't tell me nothing right now. You feel me? 3 of them boys. You dig what I'm saying? Coming home with me, for sure.
It's great to see those guys having a lot of fun. They put in a lot of hard work during a very difficult time, and they very much deserve each and every one of those rings.
Yes, those rings were some beautiful championship rings. And let's take a closer look at the national championship ring as we go to break.
But this team has been on a mission all year. This team, it's been all about winning.
Right down the middle of the field, it's touchdown. DeVonta Smith cannot be stopped. That is going to do it. The clock is going to wind down. The final score, Bama 52, Ohio State 24. Alabama does it. National championship number 18. 13 in all. Absolute perfection.
TideTV This Week, presented by Thompson Tractor, the exclusive provider of Caterpillar heavy equipment and genuine cat parts for Alabama and Northwest Florida. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for more information. The University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, for great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Welcome back to TideTV This Week, brought to you by Thompson Tractor. With a second-place finish in the Tuscaloosa Regional, the Alabama gymnastics team advanced to the national championships in Fort Worth, Texas.
Alabama took part in the second semifinal session on Friday, competing against Oklahoma, LSU, and Utah. The top 2 teams from each session on Friday advanced to the NCAA championships on Saturday. Crimson Tide opened the meet on vault with a 49.2875, led by Shaylin Olsen's 9.925. On the uneven bars, Luisa Blanco led the Crimson Tide with a 9.9375 for a team total of 49.3125. Luisa Blanco then gave the Crimson Tide their first of 2 individual national championships. Blanco won the balance beam national championship with a score of 9.9625. Blanco's winning score guided the Crimson Tide to a 49.3875.
It was a battle for one of the 2 berths to the national championship finals in the last routine. Alabama closed with its best floor exercise score of the season, a 49-5875 led by the Tide's second national champion, Lexi Graber. Graber's score of 99625 won her the title, but in the end, the Crimson Tide came up just .025 points shy of advancing to the national championship finals, as Alabama finished 3rd in the season behind Oklahoma and Utah. Alabama finished 5th overall at the NCAA championships. It marks the Crimson Tide's 30th top 5 national finish and 1st since finishing 3rd in 2016.
With this past weekend's finish, Alabama and Utah remain the only 2 teams to never finish outside the top 12 in the final standings. It was a wild weekend of baseball between the Crimson Tide and the Auburn Tigers. We'll have the dramatic highlights coming up next here on Tide TV This Week.
Tide TV This Week, presented by Thompson Tractor, the exclusive provider of Caterpillar heavy equipment and genuine cat parts for Alabama and Northwest Florida. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for more information. Ford, for great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Welcome back. After sweeping Texas A&M the previous weekend in College Station, Alabama returned home to host in-state rival Auburn for a 3-game series.
Tide opened up Game 1 against the Tigers on Thursday evening inside Sewell Thomas Stadium. It was a back-and-forth game, with Alabama trailing 7-6 in the bottom of the 8th. Sam Prater smashed the solo shot over the left field wall to tie the game at 7. The contest would go on to extra innings. In the bottom of the 10th, the Tide got 2 singles to lead off the inning. Then Owen Diodati stepped up to the plate with a winning run scoring position, singled down the right field line, bringing in Zane Denton for the game winner. An 8-7 walk-off win for Diodati and the Tide to open the series in Game 1.
Now the Tigers even the series with a 5-4 win in the Game 2 on Friday.
After 2 dramatic contests in Games 1 and Games 2, the series finale on Saturday did not disappoint. Auburn jumped out to a 5-3 lead in the 2nd inning, but the hero from Game 1, Owen Diodati, tied the game with a 2-run shot to right center. The Tigers would extend their lead back out to 3 at 8-5, but in the 7th inning, it was William Hameter, the Tuscaloosa native, to the plate as he sent a 2-run shot over the wall in center, and then Sam Prater tied the game at 8-all with this solo homer to left. Like Game 1, Game 3 was back and forth. Auburn retook the lead 9-8 in the top of the 8th inning. But in the bottom of the frame, a Peyton Wilson RBI double scored Jim Jarvis to tie the game at 9-all. Then in the bottom of the 9th, with Drew Williamson at second and 1 out, Jim Jarvis delivered the game-winning walk-off double for the Crimson Tide. The RBI double by Jarvis gave the Crimson Tide their 2nd walk-off win with the series and a 10-9 victory in Game 3 against Auburn.
Alabama catcher Sam Prater was selected as the Southeastern Conference Player of the Week. Prater batted .429 on the week with 3 home runs, 6 RBI, and 4 runs scored. The honor is the first of his career.
The Crimson Tide continued their hot play on Tuesday night against North Alabama. The reigning SEC Player of the Week, Sam Prater, led the way for the Crimson Tide as he finished with 3 of 4 hitting with 4 runs batted in and a 2-run homer in the Tide's 8-6 win over the Lions.
The Alabama softball team was in action this weekend as well as Patrick Murphy's 3rd-ranked Crimson Tide welcomed the 4th-ranked Florida Gators to Rose Stadium for a 3-game series.
Florida won the first 2 games of the series to avoid a sweep, and the Crimson Tide turned to Montana Fouts in Sunday's Game 3. Fouts delivered a dominating performance, scattering 4 hits across 7 innings. Fouts went the distance, striking out 10 as she allowed just 2 runs in the 3rd. The win improves Fouts' record to 14-3 on the year as Alabama wins the series finale in Game 3, 4-2.
Jacqueline Walker became the first Crimson Tide player selected in the WNBA draft since 2005 this past Thursday night. When we return, we'll go all access with Jacqueline Walker for her big night.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week, brought to you by Thompson Tractor. The WNBA draft was held this past Thursday night. Mock draft projections had Alabama's Jasmine Walker going in the top 10 of the first round, and they were not wrong.
Nope, the Los Angeles Sparks selected Jasmine Walker with their first pick in the WNBA draft, the 7th overall selection. Let's go all access with Jasmine as she made history, becoming just the second first-round pick in WNBA draft for the Crimson Tide and the Tide's first draft selection since 2005.
With the 7th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Jasmine.
This is a big moment for me. I can't even talk. I can't even talk right now. Yes, we going to LA. I'm so happy. I just knew it.
Congratulations. Proud of you. Proud of you. That is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, we going to LA.
Congratulations to Jasmine Walker as well as to Edson Ortiz. He was voted the Southeastern Conference Men's Tennis Scholar Athlete of the Year. Ortiz graduated with a 3.75 GPA in Human Performance Exercise Science and also maintains a 4.0 GPA while pursuing a master's degree in sports hospitality. It's the second year in a row Ortiz has won the honor.
So stay with us. We'll have our plays and players of the week coming up next in just 90 seconds.
Number 6 hitter leading off against Crystal Goodman, and a diving catch made at third. Maddie Morgan fired up with a first out in the second. 2-2 is line and caught at third base by Morgan. And the tight end Cameron Latu takes it down the left sideline, and he is in for a touchdown. It's pulled down the line. It's a fair ball. Denton get a score from second. Alabama's handed Auburn another one-run SEC loss. It's an extra inning walk-off winner for Diodati.
Run-up is lifted into deep left. That runner goes Ward. Still going. It's over his head. That's going to be a winner for Alabama as into scores Williamson. And the Crimson Tide walk it off again.
Now those were our ATI plays of the week. Now let's take a look at our players of the week brought to you by Payless Drugs. Lexi Graber continued the Tide's run of champions this week as she won the NCAA Gymnastics Championship on the floor exercise. Graber finished with this 9.9625.
And her teammate Luisa Blanco joined her as a champion as well. Blanco won the National Balance Beam Championship with her score of 9.9625, 250 ahead of 2 Oklahoma gymnasts. That's 2 more national championships for the Crimson Tide.
Roll Tide to that, and congratulations to Lexi and Louisa. Those are our Payless Drugs Players of the Week.
Thanks for watching another edition of Tide TV this week.
See you next week, everyone. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.